Hello again, and welcome back to Wingot Plays Oxygen Not Included. At this point, we have our electrolyzer set up and running, delivering oxygen to our base, and available to use for atmosuits. Which means we will be able to put some atmosuits in here and make it so that duplicates can only leave when they've got access to an atmosuit, which will increase how far they'll be able to go without having to come all the way back, just like all the way back up to here just to catch a breath. But it also means, given we've only got 3 atmosuits at the moment, that we're going to be limited on how many duplicates can actually leave the base. There we go, read fiber 2 units. So because we don't have enough hydrogen in here, so we've got limited. Ooh, I puffed. Okay, we've got limited access to reed fiber into suits. That said, I do wonder how many dupes at any given time are out of the base at the moment. Looks like we've got a couple coming up who are coming back from this mining operation and or going up. This shovel. Ooh. Torvastatin. Is the Torvastatin one of my ranches? No. That would have been very nice if this shovel here was just about to get wrenched. It would have been very convenient, but I say that we've got electrolyzer up and running. We seem to have stone hatchling drowning. Okay, we seem to be down to 0 calories again, which I don't remember being the case at the end of the last episode, but I do remember struggling for food. We've got a few kill commands already on our fish here, and we clearly have a stone hatch here that is also marked for termination evolution. So at this point, I think we're just going to try to see what we can do. One thing we probably want to do is this. Well, this is just about to go dormant, so we can ignore that. But we do need to find another water supply, because this is only supplying 3,000 grams per second, and this setup is going to need 4 kilos per second, as well as which 4,650 grams per second of water gets made out of 5 kilos of salt water. So effectively, in order to feed this and have a bit of a surplus, we are going to want 3,000 plus another 2,000. This guy down here is 2,500. So what I might do is, 1, I might set up the atmosuit dock. 2, I might build out this area, and then 3, I'll combine both of those together into a saltwater tank over here. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan for the current episode. But all of that starts with, let's get a couple of atmosuits stocked, and then we also need to, what was I about to say? We also need to unpause the game. Of course we need to unpause the game. Perfect. But that'll get those built. I think we want to build a tile there so that it can actually rest on it, because they've got access to get down there. And all of that running away perfectly. Oh wow, we've got 10 kilos, 7 kilos. There's quite high gas pressures actually out here. Oh, and we're only making it higher. The one thing that's probably a good idea will be to try to try to make a space so that we can put all of this spare oxygen. In fact, what if we just disconnect those two? Cool. Because all the oxygen can actually just live rent-free inside this space without affecting the hydrogen being produced. seeing any hydrogen there. There we go, hydrogen. Why is that stopped? Pipe locked. Oh, because it's got nowhere for the oxygen to go. Yes, okay. So what we could do is arguably we could go do this. And then this way, the output from both of these two needs to keep running at all times. The output from these top ones is spare, it doesn't need to be running. If we feed our base load from the output from these two, that's not going to be running it all the time. So it's only going to be running like 50%. Whereas I think if we do this, there we go. I think if we connect both of these two together, we'll have basically one full-time oxygen output between the two of them, because as it is, they're only effectively producing half the time because of the hydrogen requirement. There we go. That should get them moving and shaking. Whoa. Hydrogen should not be escaping. Okay, not 100. Those trace bits of hydrogen probably got through when there was stuff backed up, maybe? I don't know. Because the mechanical filters never would have stopped. There you go, a little bit more. And it's coming from here. It shouldn't be able to get through. Oh, right. Because this right pump is pumping out a full tile's worth, this left pump is then not able to put it in, and when those two sync up, it means we get a trace bit of hydrogen that manages to make its way through. Micrograms worth. Fine. And then, there we go. Between them, we've got constant, not quite full. Have auto sweepers complete more deliveries to machines than duplicates? Have auto sweepers complete more deliveries to machines than duplicates over 5 cycles? That's actually, yeah, that's a new achievement. Well, of course it is. It showed up as a toaster there. But, sweet. We've made a bit of progress on completing oxygen not included. Right there, easy living. Awesome. Probably partly because we've got quite a few idle duplicates. Let's see. Good, we've got metal tiles. And glass. Okay, so what we wanted to do was we wanted to rebuild this space so that it can become a duplicate area. But it's also going to cost, let's see. It's like 17 tile. We might have nearly enough, but the other thing we could do is just dig up a whole lot more lead. Because if we get more lead, then, well, to do that. Yes, you're overheating. Toasty Shenanigans, first time you've ever been overheating. Go mix it with the cold air up here. You'll be fine. Cool. So we've got lead now, and we've probably got plenty of lead. Let's take a look here. Good. We've got enough for 5,000 tiles. Perfect. Now make that a 9, and then we can also build a few over here. Perfect. I wonder about cleaning out the carbon dioxide here, because when the dupes come in to ranch them, they're going to... In fact, let's cancel that one. I'm not 100%. Oh, I think shove voles can probably go through an airflow tile because it's not a refined metal. So what? How about we just delete that and then we'll put a pneumatic door in there, because I know they can't go through pneumatic doors, and the pneumatic door will then be able to provide the airflow that we want to maintain. And maybe let's also do this. Let's make airflow tiles there. Pneumatic doors, top and bottom here, so that the gases can continue to flow. Speaking of gases, now we want to delete this carbon dioxide that we've got going here. Okay, liquid bridge here. There we go. So that will generate 5 tiles worth of liquid. Well, probably 6 because there'll be 1 there. And then we'll be able to hook that in, prime it, and I find often the sieve carbon skimmer solution overfills with fluid. So that's what I'm trying to avoid at the moment. And in fact, there we go. So that should mean that neither of these devices, so the carbon skimmer should never be pipe overloaded. The water sieve here should also never have a overloaded output pipe, and they're both getting fluids all of the time. If we deconstruct these bridges, we will be able to replace them and route this water back towards. Now, can we do anything about tidying up this water supply? I think a better solution is going to be trying to make a better water storage. That said, let's get another water seed. Perfect. So, we have started deleting the carbon dioxide. Perfect. And all it's costing is power, which I think is probably much less of an issue now than it has been at any point previously. No one's even running on the generators, and we've got a full battery here. Over here, we've got a whole lot of meat that's just been created. And, oh, in fact, so I've got the harvest jobs to harvest, well, not harvest, wrangle, to wrangle these shove voles. But I don't think I ever gave them a place to actually put these shove voles once they get wrangled. That, of course, we do need to close in the... we need to finish building the place that the shove voles can go, but let's priority 9 that. Let's build another pneumatic door there. Priority 9 that, and then priority 7 all of this. Good. Okay, and then we can lock that. And maybe what I can do in order to clean up this side channel here is I can probably actually replicate that design in these spots as well. Good, and then make that a priority 9 so that we fix these ranches as quick as possible. And let's take a look. We've got a lab, we've got a great hall, we've got lots of ranches around the base, we've got our washroom, our massage clinic, and some barracks. Is there a kitchen? There is kitchen, which allows the use of the spice grinder. That's fine. Perfect. So these rooms should be fixed, and what I think we can do is we can deconstruct both of these manual airlocks and replace them with insulated tiles. As a priority. And then, in fact, we can deconstruct this one and do the same thing. In fact, we're going to need you because this space is not going to exist anymore. Good. A couple of metal tiles. Right there. Although the metal tiles are going to be heat conductive. So probably we're going to need to build these insulated tiles there. Yeah, you've got priority. Awaiting lead. We've still got plenty of lead, do we? Yeah, we've still got 3 tons. That's fine. Now we can probably, well, let's basically disable this one. Because we don't need... Let's bring a bit more crude oil up top. May as well use up this power that someone's so kindly run down to generate. Interesting. That's all connected. Pump, oh, pumping on liquid. Wow. Wow, we've really cleaned that up. Okay. Well, that system's defunct anyway. So, may as well leave it there in case we decide to do a similar sort of setup. But ideally, hopefully well, in fact, we probably do want to put one here. Because we want to clean up this puddle, which is the puddle that's got the polluted water in it. What's going on? Come on. There we go. And because once we can get this polluted water out of here, this becomes a lot safer to then explore the rest. Molten lava egg. I see it. Okay. We've closed in this room. We want to enclose the hatch, the shove vault area with... Ooh. Actually, let's do this. Let's deconstruct these. Let's build that there. Let's build metal walls in here. Do all of that as like a priority 8. Someone's going to get themselves trapped though with the orders as I've set them out. Let's leave the metal tiles not to be done at the moment. Cool. So we're building our shove vault ranch area. We have seen shove vaults, so they can go there once they're wrangled. We need to deconstruct that and that as well, so that we can move these pneumatic doors. And And let's just double check. There's no errands. No, it looks like there's no pending deliveries at the moment. Cool. This one is to be deconstructed as a priority. Good. We can build these metal tiles the whole way down. Come on, guys. Oh, right, they can't go left through this door. Yep. Okay, good. Put that there. Put another metal tile there. Perfect. Priority 7. Everything here. This we can lock. Because no one ever needs to go downstairs there. If they need to, they can go around this way. And it's just a glorified FO tiles. Perfect. Now we can get rid of that bit. We actually don't need this bit anymore, which I built. Oh, apparently they can destroy the metal tiles through the metal tiles. Okay. That's gonna work. So we can just do that. Build those insulated tiles. And at this point we can actually do the job to get rid of all of this space. Perfect. Now, we do want to deliver Atmo suits to all of these. And here, let's undock that suit and deconstruct this space. Okay, so it looks like we're still maintaining decent oxygen with this not full pump of oxygen being produced there. And let's take a look. We've got a smooth hatch here. We've got a bit more barbecue. We've currently got 14,000 kcal of barbecue. And these aren't overcrowded. 37 stone hatchling eggs. What have we got? 49, 56 eggs in total here. We've got 143 tons of igneous rock. Let's just double check. Igneous rock is what's being fed to these. Perfect. Okay, and then when there's any shovels, they are a priority to move them down here. Meanwhile, let's clean up this space just to make sure that there's nothing there that they can accidentally eat. And we are looking nice. Now, both of them are sitting at their under 500s. We've got hydrogen being used. And if we take a look at our colony summary, we can take a look at super sustainable. We're at 96,000 kilojoules. These 800 watts each, we've got 4 of them running full time for a nice 3200 watts, and this one's running I think about half the time. Maybe slightly more than half the time. So we've got a nice, let's call it 3500 watts being produced here, but this guy has just gone dormant, and as I mentioned, this tank will manage to completely empty. Oh right, yeah, it's getting backed up because it can pump 10 kilos, whereas this is only using 5 kilos. Fine. So, gold amalgam. We want a gold amalgam pump like here. We want to close. Yeah, so effectively we want to extend this to like there and then down and dig out all of this space. And all of this space is going to become my fluid tank here. We can drop a ladder right there, which should then give us the access we need to dig out all this space. Now, meanwhile, we've got all 3 Atmo suits sitting here. we need to bring up a oxygen line. May as well go right here. Use one of these oxygens that we're not currently using. We can try to clean up all of this. Perfect. May as well clean up that. Ooh, in fact, leave the liquid lock in case I need to ever get in there and fix this up. Cool. Now, they should get... Oh, they're already getting power. By accident, but they're already getting power. And... we've got lots of dupes running in here who are doing a pretty decent job, to be honest, of separating out these two spaces. We probably do want to make a little bit of space on top though, because effectively we want somewhere for the gases to go. And printable. Sandstone we don't necessarily need. Aluminium ore could come in handy. We can start considering dupes fairly soon. Meanwhile, let's put in place the what are they called? Airlock tiles to keep replace the edge of the abyss light there. And speaking of, let's just double check up here. I've already put the airlock tiles in here. Good. Now, did we ever get those shovels? No. So, let's take a look up here. Couple of jobs for shovels. Let's make these a priority. If they ever become available, I want them to be wrangled. I saw another one over here. Good. So priority is if they're ever somewhere that is reasonably accessible, someone needs to come and wrangle them. In the meantime, so we've got all this mafic rock and regolith. Colony achievement 166 cycles. What did we just do? They got better. Cure a 6 duplicate of disease. Okay. Not quite sure how that one happened. I don't want that chlorine. Oh, good. I think the chlorine's turning into gases. Which is perfect. Good. And then we want to extend this up and basically fill this whole space, which unfortunately is going to be like having to do jobs 2 at a time. That's reachable. So, priority 8. That. You are active. You won't be dormant for another 63 cycles. And we are going to need power. That's the annoying bit. Okay, run a power cable all the way down to here. In fact, let's run it in the wall. Boom. Sweet. Now, we are very quickly getting to the point where the salt water is 67 degrees. But there's lots of reasonably cold in here, so it'll be able to soak up that heat. Now, we do also, of course, need, let's see, metal refinery, glass forge. We don't need either of those right at the moment. Geotuner, which allows us to improve a geyser. Increase temperature and output of an analyzed geyser. Multiple geotuners can be directed at a single geyser anywhere on an asteroid. Targeted geyser receives stored amplification data when it is erupting. Room requirement. It needs a science building. Needs to be in a laboratory. Okay, let's take a look here. We've got a lab right here. How big is this station? Geotuner. Yeah, okay, so we need to move things around to get it to fit. fact, this jumbo battery doesn't need to exist anymore because it is on the receiving end of this power system. So let's get rid of that battery. We can get rid of these manual generators as well, at which point we can then put the geotuner analyzer here. Why did you make a mess? What's happened with the plumbing? These should be running empty pipes and empty tables. Deconstruct that. Priority 9. Okay, yeah, I think I know what's happened. I think because we've got an output point there, this water's all getting stuck. As soon as that gets deep, there we go. That'll get the water running again. Cool. Now we can mop all of that up, mop all of this up, and we should have limited the impact. Perfect. Looks like people can now reuse the toilet. I've got a critical alert notification mod in place, which if there's a critical alert, it pauses. For some reason they can't access those gas pipes, which I'm assuming is just the not being able to get close enough. So if they build these ladders, they should be able to. Let's pop back down here. That's unreachable. That's annoying. If we're going to have to do one at a time, that's super annoying. The other option is I potentially could potentially just remove the roof here, which would then allow me to actually build that. Well, if we're going to do that, we definitely want to get rid of this chlorine. This can be deconstructed. Okay, so we've cleaned up most of this area in here. Arguably, I think what would be good is if we could set this up so that, well, this chlorine, if this chlorine drops into there, it's just going to become, it's going to gas immediately. But what I'm thinking is it's probably good if we can make a entrance to the oil biome where it's not just going to be a straight drop for any fluids that do decide to be sitting there. Okay, let's enable this so that we can at least clean that one out. Good. So there's no more chlorine sitting here. Well, there is as it forms and reforms, but how are we going in here? So let's try to clean out this space a bit. In fact, let's clean out all of that. We're not going to be able to access these. Good. So we have built a water container for the salt water here. We've got 20,000 kcal. There's probably some hatches sitting here waiting to be attacked. And this one's dormant, being used slowly, but no issues at all here with the oxygen supply or the hydrogen generators. And yep, there you go, 103,000 kilojoules. Yep. So we're making some decent progress there. The only part of the base that's still being fed power manually is these incubators, which I am not overly concerned by that. Looks like this tank's looking full, but it doesn't have any eggs, any fry eggs sitting there. So we might wait for some fry eggs before we worry about killing any more fries there. Getting some more cooked seafood. We can close that in. Is that chlorine managed to drop in. Do I have somewhere to put chlorine? Yes, this is a chlorine pump. Yep, okay, fine. So anytime that there's a bottle of liquid chlorine, it gets dumped here. And so when these get mobbed up, they'll have a job as a bit of a priority to get moved up to that bottle emptier, which will then allow, which then hopefully stops them from regassing and turning back into fluids, or at least helps to get rid of most of it if there's a job as a priority to remove them. There you go, someone's coming along to pick up the chlorine. Now, let's take a... Yeah, so the chlorine that was here has all disappeared because it became gas, and it's sitting right there on top of the carbon dioxide. Speaking of carbon dioxide, how are we doing here? Looks like we've managed to clear out most of the carbon dioxide in this space. What happened? Why are you not running? It is running. It must... It's struggling to collect enough carbon dioxide. That's what's happening. Perfect. Because we've got a nice oxygen layer all in here. Very nice. I don't think we're ever going to make this hot enough for larva eggs to live. Speaking of temperatures, we yet again have not enough temperature in here for the arbor trees, and the pips were going to start starving. What's this? Pips, squeaks. Let's say we're only allowed 3 pips in here, just because we're having so much trouble with the temperatures. I think, though, probably next episode, what we are going to want to do is start putting in place a bit of a proper heat solution, temperature solution, so that we can keep the base at the temperature that we want it to be. We've solved the oxygen issue, and arguably this oxygen is coming out at a hot enough temperature, but it's not enough heat capacity in order to heat up the whole base here. Thimbleweed seeds, perfect. In fact, we probably do want to plant some thimbleweed seeds to supplement our Dracos, so that we've got more reed fibers. We can make 2 more atmosuits with the reed fibers that we've got at the moment. We have oxygen going in there. We have power going in there, I think. And the oxygen out here is actually not the worst. But if I do wonder, what I could try doing is I could try putting an output pipe for this gas. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a normal pipe instead of a high pressure. And then I wonder, once the pressures have all equalized a bit, whether that's going to not be enough to keep the other various gases at bay. Like, is it just going to collapse down to only being quite a narrow area that we can use? But that's something I'm going to have to look into and figure out later on. For now, we're not quite at 170, but we're basically there. We have basically in here got our storage tank built. I'm probably actually going to move this pump down into here, and then as I say, next episode we might start looking at what we can do about getting a proper full-time power solution. All that said, I do have a meeting that I really need to be getting to in under a minute, so it's not quite 170, but it's close enough. Thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.